If you like ducks, dogs, training, deer hunting, anything outdoors, then this is the podcast for you guys. This is the Flying V Podcast. I'm Thaddeus Bash. I'm your host for this beautiful ride. I'm assisted by my co-host, Mr. Changmore Vang. You can tune in every week and join us as we talk about anything and everything under the moon that you guys want us to talk about. Some facts, some fiction, and a whole lot of opinion. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's hop into it.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Flying V Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of 50 States of Waterfowl. And this week, last week we did Illinois. We were a little bit out of order with everything. We skipped over Idaho due to some scheduling issues. But this week we're going back out west and we're talking to our representative, Mr. Nick from Idaho, and it should be good. I'm pretty excited. Idaho is way out there. I've never been to Idaho before, but I know it's pretty mountainous country, I believe. Hopefully I don't look stupid. It's over by Montana. I have family in Montana. Other than that, I don't really know a whole lot about Idaho. So we're going to learn about Idaho today, and we're going to learn about duck hunting in Idaho. I know the Northwest. Already, we've seen that the Northwest is packed full of good duck hunting. You're up there around Canada, it's going to be good. So we'll learn a thing or two. But before we hop into everything, I just want to say thank you to all of the listeners. Yes, that includes you. I want to say thanks to all the supporters so far. If this is the first time you've stumbled across the Flying V Podcast, I'm sorry that you have been missing out on this, but welcome aboard. We're glad to have you here. If you're listening on one of the podcast platforms, hit that follow button, guys. Save it, share it with your friends, show some support. It really helps out. If you're watching the podcast video on YouTube, you can give me a thumbs up, drop a comment, let me know what you think, give some feedback on it. And most importantly, guys, just hit that subscribe button for me. We're slowly driving towards that goal of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And then we got a big giveaway coming. If you've been around for a while on the channel, I know a lot of the OG guys know what we're giving away at 1,000. But the rest of you are just going to have to stick around to find out. I think I've actually talked about it a couple times in the podcast. So if you really want to know, you can go back and listen to all the episodes. There's plenty of days through the week where you can listen on your commute, and you could probably catch up with the whole series. But all that being said, the main point was just thanks for showing your support. And let's talk about some duck hunting. Forgot to plug in the Instagram and Facebook, though, at Flying V Outdoors. Check it out. Now, back to action. We got Vang in here. Thankfully, I think we're on a hot streak with Vang now. We might actually have him back permanently because he's made enough time for us to actually do the episode more than one time. So Vang, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guy?
It's nice to have you consistently. Now that all the weddings are over and all the other BS, right?
It's hunting season, and I'm making time for this. I can be out
it's
there.
hunting season for me too.
Yeah, I know. I'm happy to be a part of it. Still,
this is 50% your project.
More like 25.
No, it's 50% yours. You just do like 5% of the work. I mean,
yeah.
So you should be like, yeah, okay, I can make that work. I asked you for an hour a week, dude. Come on.
I know.
And I work like 40 hours a week on all this shit. So I think that's a fair trade.
So let's thank Thad for his hard work, guys.
Right? I agree. Someone should buy me a beer. Yeah. You can Venmo me. Thaddeus. Actually, I don't even. Let me pull up my Venmo. I don't even know what my Venmo is. I need a Flying V Venmo. Thaddeus, THADDEUS dash or hyphen, whatever you want to call it. Vash, VASH. You can Venmo me some money to buy a beer or some decoys or a duck call or I don't know, some gas. What's the price of gas up there in Minnesota, thing?
Right now we're at $3.14 to $3.19 for unleaded. Yeah. You guys?
I think it was $3.09 when I filled up the other day.
Yeah, that's what we had about last week.
Dude, it is miserable.
Sure is. especially like traveling for the hunting.
Oh my God! Tell me about
Jeez.
it. In training, like I used to drive over to Ruston, which is about an hour drive or so from me, every Saturday and Sunday to train with some guys over there. And I had to tell them like at the beginning of the month, I was like, dude, like with everything in life and like hunting season coming up and all that, like I cannot afford, like I can't justify spending $150 in gas
Right.
to drive to train every weekend. I mean,
It's nice and all. It's nice to train, but damn, that shit gets expensive now.
not over
It
there.
does.
I got to train a couple miles down the road because I can't afford to drive all the way there and back. And like you
Right.
said, I'm terrified of when duck season comes in, and I'm driving miles and miles every freaking day.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some sponsors for this podcast. Some gas sponsors, Circle K or Shell or something can sponsor me.
I'm all about Casey's and Holiday up here.
We don't have either of those.
Uh,
We're polluted with Circle K's, like Shell. It's terrible. That's
hey, at
all.
least you're getting some good gas.
Like my drive from work is maybe like 10 miles total, and I pass 5 Circle K's.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and they're all expensive. But anyway, how's your week been, buddy? Give me our weekly recap.
It's good. I took this kind of week to rest up from hunting like pheasants 4 days in a row this past weekend. But so I took this week Monday to now off. And when I did that, I went and bought some new socks, right? And you know how in this like at Walmart when you buy those and one socks, because that's just what I wear for cheap stuff, and they have like those little plastics that keep it together in between where you have to kind of cut off, right?
Yeah.
Usually I rip them off and then they get like a hole in them. So I decided to take my knife and cut it off, right? As I cut it off, I was sitting on my bed. I put way too much pressure and sliced it through, and then like nicked my thigh. So I had to go to the VA and get that like sutured, basically. No stitches, but sutured in the middle of the night because it wouldn't stop bleeding.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, that's what happened. But that was like Wednesday night or Tuesday night, and then it's healed now. So I accidentally like sliced my thigh.
Oh, hold on. So you were you were cutting
my socks apart.
How the fuck do you slice your thigh opening?
Because I was sitting down.
A pair of socks.
I was sitting down, and the knife was sharper than I expected. You know, those pocket knives, right? And I put way too much pressure, and I was going. I just fucking sliced through my pants.
Oh Lord!
And hit my thigh. Good thing it wasn't deep though.
You don't have scissors?
I just found my knife like 2 days ago, so I wanted to use it.
So you're feeling extra manly, carrying around.
I just wanted. No, I just found it in my room the other day, so I wanted to use it. So I used it on that.
I'm gonna slice my leg open.
No, obviously I didn't plan to do that.
If you need to talk to someone, if you got stuff going on, man, I think that whole emo phase kind of went away about a decade ago.
Yeah, the doctor at the VA was like, "Are you alright at home?" Because my wife was with me, and he's like, "Blink once if she's hurting you." I was like, "No, I'm good."
Oh shit! No.
Anyway, how about you, man?
That's why you use a knife, and you're always supposed to point the blade away from you when you're cutting things like that.
It was away, but my leg was in front of it. I was sitting down.
My week was good. I didn't cut myself open. We had my sister and her significant other in town. They stopped in for a couple nights on their way back from California. So we hung out with them, and that is it. That's all I did. Time's been flying by, man. I don't know. It feels like everything's just burning by. I messed with the kayak a little bit, trying to get everything situated. But other than that, I mean, next weekend we're shooting ducks here. Next weekend is our Veterans Weekend or whatever, Saturday and Sunday. I haven't even got to go out and scout yet. One of my buddies got to. and apparently things are looking pretty freaking good. So I'm excited for that. And
Yeah,
then,
I've seen some videos on Louisiana Duck Hunters. It seems like there's a lot of good spots down there now, or a lot of duck.
man, oh, God, I hope so. Today literally was like 20-mile-an-hour winds,
Uh-huh.
gusts of like 50 all day from the time I woke up until now. I can still see the trees blowing around outside. So, and it was all just a north wind. So we got a huge cold front coming in. And I'm just praying it's got a whole boatload of birds on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so hopefully they stop here and just hang out for a little bit, at least a week or so. And
Yeah.
then, so we open up next weekend, and then the weekend after that, man, Dakota will be down here for the long weekend.
What?
And yeah, we're gonna take him duck hunting. So
Oh, for Thanksgiving, huh?
no,
Oh,
Thanksgiving's
wait.
at the end of the
Oh,
month,
you said
Vang.
the long weekend, so I was assuming Thanksgiving.
Well, it's Veterans Day. He'll be here that weekend,
Oh.
the 11th through the 14th.
Just him, or is his significant other too?
Just him, yeah.
Nice.
So we're gonna go shoot up some birds and have a good time.
I have
But
to video chat you guys and slam a beer with y'all.
yeah, I'm sure there'll be plenty. So, but enough of us rambling, man. We're gonna get Nick in here and talk to him, guys. So we got Nick Bodin, or is it Brodine? I already forgot.
Brodeen.
It's
With the
Brodeen.
E.
It's Brodin. I was right. Okay. So anyway, guys, we got Nick here, and he's gonna be telling us today all about Idaho duck hunting. Can you hear us good, Nick?
I can.
All right, brother. So if you don't mind, man, just go ahead and introduce yourself. Kind of tell everyone you know where you're from, what you do. Just give us your background.
Okay, I'll start somewhere. So I've been born and raised in Idaho, so the southern part. Been around agriculture my whole life. My family runs a cattle ranch. Went through high school and a bunch of other classes and stuff, and I was gonna follow livestock, and then decided I liked plant science better.
Okay.
So I'm pursuing plant science in college right now. I have one semester left, and then I'm graduated. So, and then after that, I'll go and work for Simplot, kind of checking fields and stuff, kind of finding. It's kind of a little loophole because I work in the farming industry, so I can find all these fields and get permission and go
Yeah.
duck hunting on fields and stuff like that. But
The smart way.
no, I've not really left the state of Idaho. I mean, I've traveled a small amount, but kind of been stuck here.
Well, where you go to school at?
University of Idaho. It's
You,
in northern Idaho, kind of close to Washington and up
University of Idaho. Never heard of it.
that area. It's relatively small. I mean, for the state of
Yeah.
Idaho, it's one of the bigger ones, but
Well, Idaho's kind of like I don't know. I don't really know what Idaho
It's the
is.
potato state.
It is the potato state. I didn't want to say
That's
that.
all I know about Idaho.
Do you guys have a lot of potatoes?
so it's kind of funny. Yes, we do. We produce the most potatoes, but Washington produces bigger potatoes. So
You know what? That's all right. The more the merrier.
right,
Quantity
exactly.
over quality.
Exactly. So, I mean, a lot of potatoes do come from Idaho. There is a lot of fields, but yeah, Washington does have a big part in potato production as well.
So that's why you went to school for plant sciences, is to be a potato farmer.
No, potatoes are too gentle.
Do the ducks eat potatoes?
No, they do not. At least I've never seen them.
Oh,
If there's-
imagine
there's-
hunting ducks in a potato field.
So
I
are
mean,
there
if
more
there's-
potato fields than cornfields?
So where I'm from is like the Boise area. There's some potato production there. Most of it is kind of in the eastern side of the state. So, I mean, I would assume if there's snow on top of a potato field, you could hunt it and they wouldn't see it. But
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna Google what a potato field even looks like. This I don't know what a it's funny, I always misspell potato too. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, let's get back on topic. So let's talk about ducks. Whoa. Sorry, I just pulled up a potato field. That's not what I expected it to look like.
Did you expect them to be up out of the ground?
Oh,
You know what?
no,
I'm
I don't.
interested now. I gotta see.
Yeah, I expected it to be like, I don't know, these look really like big plants. I thought they would be like really small. Like I thought potatoes grow underground, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Oh, well, there's a lot of plant on top of the ground.
They are, and it sucks to walk through them. They're probably as big around as your thumb. The stem is at the base. They're pretty stiff and heavy.
Damn. So, how do you? We're getting on a rabbit hole, but that's fine because I want to know how do they have like potato combines?
Technically, yes.
Huh.
It's a digger that you pull behind a tractor. They have some that drive themselves, but you pull it behind a tractor and it basically scoops them up, 2 feet underground, and lets them travel up a conveyor belt that all the stems and everything can fall through, and then the potatoes go around and get dumped into a truck.
Wow, a potato combine.
Kind of like a combine, yes, but except it's underground.
I know you're probably like, these guys are fucking idiots. But, like, I grew up in Indiana. We don't grow potatoes there. We just have a bunch of corn and soybeans. And now I live in Louisiana, and there's a bunch of like soybeans and rice here. That's it. So I'm not a potato expert by any means. I do love a good baked potato though. Anyway, we'll get back to duck hunting. So how long you been hunting ducks, man?
Let's see, 10 years.
Okay.
13 years.
And who got you into it?
So my dad did originally when I was 10. I think it was 10. He had done it when he was a kid, but kind of got out of it. And then he changed careers and started going with a bunch of his buddies about the time I was 10. So that's kind of how it got started, was he kind of started going with his buddies. And then
Gotcha.
I followed right behind him.
Gotcha. So now, do you still hunt with your dad, or?
Yeah, I do. Not so much since I've been in college, because I live like 6 hours away from home. So
yeah, it's quite the commute for some ducks.
Exactly.
So I guess, first thing I want to know is, like I said, we've never, obviously the only thing now that I can envision in the whole state of Idaho is these potato fields that I just looked at. So kind of just paint like a picture, kind of like, what type of environment is it, the landscape? Like what kind of climate are you hunting in there?
It's dry. So the only way you can grow crops is irrigating.
Yeah.
And you're in a valley, at least southern Idaho, it's in a valley. You've got mountains on kind of to the northeast and southwest.
Okay.
So you're kind of stuck in this little bowl. It gets cold in the wintertime, or can get cold. There's been some years where it'll stay like 2 degrees or 3 degrees for like a week long.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty cold.
Snow doesn't really stick a lot. It'll snow like 2 or 3 inches, and then the next day it might melt. So, I mean, there is snow, but it doesn't stick around usually.
Yeah.
So are you hunting like lakes, swamps? Well, not swamps, but like pond, timber? What kind of hunting are you doing?
So you can kind of do a wide variety. I mean, you can of course go field hunting stuff. There's a lot of, they're kind of ponds. A lot of them are just smaller, and they're located closer to the towns and stuff, right, in city limits and stuff. So those are kind of hard to hunt. There is some like agricultural ponds, not sewer ponds, but that kind of feed irrigation systems. So if you can get permission on one of those, that's an option. A lot of duck hunting specifically is on the Snake River, and then there's a big game reserve lake that you can go hunting on. So, and then in the lake, it's a lot of like more or less flooded timber, kind of. And then the river's just, brush and stuff that's up against the edge. But that's kind of it.
Yeah, I got you. So, so do you hunt mainly public or private land?
So duck hunting, at least that I've done, is mostly public land.
Okay.
Just because that's where the water is. Most of the big bodies of water where a lot of ducks will hang out is public.
Yeah.
For goose hunting, mostly private. It's not as pursued here to hunt geese over water. So a lot of field hunting for geese, and so that's private. But
do you guys get a lot of geese there?
Yeah, I'd probably spend 75% of the season on geese, just because. Yeah, probably just because they're a little bit easier. I'm sure I probably could get into duck hunting more if I had a boat, but I'm not quite there yet.
No, I got you, man. If we were low, like if we just had a shit ton of geese all year, I would 100% goose hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the time, we don't get a bunch, but I love goose hunting. So I don't blame you one bit. What kind of geese do you get in Idaho?
Majority is Canada geese during, like your typical waterfowl season, and then later in the spring is when we'll get a bunch of snow geese to move through. Those usually stick to the western side of the state, kind of following the Snake River.
Gotcha.
But I mean, you'll have flocks of snow geese that are, 2,000 or 3,000, and they'll hang around for a little while, but they're not a whole lot of people hunt those. Mostly Canada geese, though.
I got you. So you said earlier in the season, what are your seasons? Like, when's your season start in Idaho? What's your kind of just a general idea of what your season's like?
It started 2 weeks ago, roughly 2 weeks ago. And so it's, kind of warmer weather, almost t-shirt weather when it first opens. The birds, you're really only hunting local birds up until about now when storms start coming in. That's when more birds will start pushing through. Usually it gets better around December and January, just because there's more pressure moving birds around, and everything's starting to freeze over, and so the birds are really working a lot harder and moving around a lot more. So
when's your season end in Idaho?
Usually the end of January, towards the end of January.
Well, that's a long time too.
It is.
Have you gone out yet?
I have not yet this year.
Ooh, you're missing out.
I know. My brother keeps sending me pictures and stuff of a couple birds that he keeps getting now and then, but
damn, it's time to take a senior skip day and hit a goose field or something.
Right?
Past years I have, but this year I've been so busy with homework, and it's just been
just trying to graduate.
Yeah, exactly. It's been impossible to try to slip away.
I don't blame you. Yeah, school. Like, typically, I'd be like, "Yeah, fuck school," but you might want to just go ahead and just tough it out for one more year.
Especially when you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then you're free, and you can hunt as an educated adult.
Exactly. I can use my knowledge against the birds.
Yeah, by then you have a permission on more land.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah. So
I hope.
So when it comes to ducks, what kind of, what do you see mostly as far as ducks go? I just feel like Idaho has a bunch of mallards. Is that true?
That is, yeah. There is quite a few mallards. Is what you'll see mostly.
Mallards everywhere.
Yeah. There is a wide variety. Kind of like everywhere else, widgeon, pintail, gadwall, general ducks, I guess, wood ducks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I'd say, yeah, the majority is mallards. Personally, I've shot a lot of wood ducks early season, before the snow pushes them out. Some teal, not a whole lot of teal, but yeah, it's just kind of general, I guess.
Yeah, no, I got you. What's your bag limits like up there?
7 ducks.
7
So,
ducks?
Oh, that's
yes.
different.
Yep, 7 ducks. It's kind of like what's the state? Arizona.
Okay. Yeah.
Almost the exact same rules, where it's 7 ducks. It can be all green heads or 2 hens, 1 pintail. List goes on, but there's just
Yeah.
a couple limitations, but nothing
But you can
too
kill
crazy.
seven mallards.
Right. Yep. 7 mallards, 7 teal, 7 wood ducks.
So that's why I don't kill any mallards down here.
No kidding.
Oh, so what's your goose limits like? How many Canadas can you shoot?
You can shoot 4 Canada geese.
Okay, I think
So,
that's pretty typical.
right. I've
We
heard
just
at other places as being like 3 or
Yeah, in Minnesota we were 3 last year, and then they just upped it up to 5 now.
Well, we're 1.
I mean, you'd be lucky to even see one, right?
Yeah, if you did see one, you could kill one. But even if there were a bunch, no one would fucking hunt them. I mean, I know I wouldn't like go set up a goose spread and actually just goose hunt just to kill one goose. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
Like
kinda-
that's
Their decoys are so expensive.
what I'm
compared to,
saying. Like, have
ducks.
you the cost of a fucking spread to hunt Canadas wouldn't even be worth the
Shooting
what's there,
one?
like 60 days in the season? Yeah, 60 geese? Really? No,
Jeez.
dude. I'd just buy them at the fucking. I'm sure someone sells goose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cheaper to just get a guided hunt in one of these states where you can shoot 8 of them a day and just you go hammer them for a week and
For
kill
sure.
more of them. But
Much easier.
yeah, the good news is we don't have them here, so I don't have to make that decision.
It was a good time.
So you said you've kind of never really traveled out of state. Have you ever hunted in any other states, or have you only hunted in Idaho?
So I've never. I've shot ducks on the Idaho and Oregon border, which is the Snake River. So technically,
Yeah.
if I were to step on Oregon, but I mean, there's fish and game cops everywhere. So, I mean, kind of, but no, I've never actually went to a different state.
I got you. Be careful what you say, unless you have an Oregon
I know.
license. You might get yourself caught up in something here.
Islands are fair game.
Yeah. Well, we border Texas, and there's one lake around here that is split in half by the border, but like you can't hunt the Texas side. You can fish. They have a fishing agreement, so like if you launch from Louisiana and you have a Louisiana license, you can fish over there. But I don't think you can duck hunt in Texas on that lake unless you have a Texas license, and vice versa. But I do know that like with Mississippi, there's an agreement like on the Mississippi River where like no matter where you hunt, the other state they recognize both states' licenses on the Mississippi as long as you're launching from your respective state side. So
that makes it kind of nice, I suppose.
Yeah, kind of similar situation. I feel like in those cases though, like as long as you're on that body of water, you should be able to hunt either side of it with whatever license. You know what I mean? Like the fucking lake that's 30 minutes from the house. Like the Texas side is just a more ducky environment than the Louisiana side of it is. But you'd have to buy an out-of-state license to hunt it, and it's literally like 5 minutes away from where you are. You don't even have to, drive over there. You can launch and take a 5-minute boat ride to it. So I think in those cases, they should just be like, yeah, you're fine either way. But whatever.
Just imagine if you're hunting on the Louisiana side, and all the ducks just land on the Texas side. You're just watching them.
Well, I mean, like on it, that's kind of how it is, because like I said, I mean, it's just better habitat on that side, at least for as far as duck hunting goes. So, because I've cruised around there several times. I've never hunted over there because I'm not buying a Texas license. I'm petty, but excuse me. So having only hunted Idaho and kind of Oregon, what's like your dream list of states to hunt in?
I don't know. I've kind of always wanted to go kind of to the south,
Yeah.
kind of like flooded timber type stuff, kind of duck hunt down there, or like a snow goose hunt in like North or South Dakota or something like that.
Yeah,
I think one of those would be kind of fun.
Oh yeah, I think they'd both be a blast. It's funny because like everyone I think you're the first really like northern state we've talked to. Besides, I mean Illinois is technically a northern state, but you're really one of like the first northwest states, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't consider Illinois really north, but
right.
Midwest. It's north of me. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So everyone we've talked to like wants to go northwest. They want to go, up in the Mallard Kingdoms. But yeah, you want to go south. So I'm sure there's plenty of people down in the south that would gladly trade places with you for a day. I know a guy in Georgia who's dying to kill something other than a wood duck.
Wood ducks.
Yeah.
You guys do get wood ducks in Idaho, though, huh?
Yeah, we do.
See, this. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, see, now it's awkward. No, I was just, I don't know. Wood ducks do migrate. Like, I don't know. A lot of people think they don't migrate, or at least a lot of people down here, because we keep them year round here. So a lot of people think they don't. But I remember last year I saw some dude killed a banded wood duck here that had migrated, or it was banded in Canada, and it's pretty neat. It was an old wood duck too. It was like 7 years old.
That is sweet.
But
I know. Usually, once the snow starts flying up here, it starts pushing them out. You see less and less. You don't see like big flocks migrating out, but you just see less and less.
Yeah, so what flyway are you guys in?
The Pacific Flyway.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but you never know. That's cool. Damn. Migrating wood ducks. So you said you don't have a boat, so do you just tag along with buddies, or do you have, I guess, do you have like are there any like walk-in public land spots, or no?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few. A lot of times, if I want to do more of like a walk-in and like walk across the river, there's some spots on the Boise River, which is kind of Central Valley. And that's pretty shallow in a lot of spots. So you can just walk across, set your decoys up upstream of you so that when you shoot ducks, they just float down to you, basically. That's pretty easy.
Are you doing mainly? Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
And then on like the bigger rivers, a little more current and stuff, and it's a couple 100 yards across in some spots, so it's a little harder to walk in there. So we've got a kayak that I can use, but I mean, it makes it a journey to try to get that down to the water where other people aren't going to be. So
yeah, I got you.
Are you like, sounds like you're hunting solos mainly, or are you hunting with buddies and stuff, or your brother?
It kind of depends. There is a lot of times like I'll get when I was in high school, I'd get out of high school and just pack up my stuff and just go out and kind of more or less scout while I'm hunting, more or less. And then I'm not really shoot anything, but a lot of the times I do go with like my brother and cousins and stuff like that, and buddies from high school. They're the ones with the boat, so I try to go with them as much as I can.
Yeah. No. I always like to get kind of a feel for, how each state's public land is. And I think, for the most part, everyone's been pretty positive about the amount of public land they have. How many, is there a lot of duck hunters in Idaho or?
It seems like it.
Now, right?
Yeah, I think it just seems like it because it is so. All of the places that I've gone more in closer to the valley are pretty heavily populated. I mean, if you were to drive an hour or two, you're easily out of the way of what a lot of people go to, so it thins out a lot more there. But
Yeah.
if you're like in town, you'll run across quite a few people, especially at that big major lake. We call it Lake Lowell.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people will go. I mean, you'll be there at 3 a.m. and there's 3 other pickups pulling in, and everyone's running with their waders around their ankles trying to get to the spot first. So it just depends on where you go.
Yeah, and we live just outside of a big city, so it's kind of the same here. I mean, there's still a lot of tons and tons of duck hunters in Louisiana, but there's a good chunk of public land here, but there's just so many people that live around this area that I mean, it's going to be crowded pretty much anywhere you go. I don't do all that racing and shit. I just whatever. If you get there first, you get there first, man. I'm not gonna. I'm not running. Like I take my time out of the truck.
Oh yeah.
That's why you just have plan A, B, C, D, E.
Exactly.
If you get past like your fourth backup, then it's just time to go home. Just take the L.
Try again another day.
I mean, right? Like I don't know. How many backup plans can you have reasonably?
Because usually, how are they going to work?
Yeah. Well, like for me, like a lot of our spots are pretty much like it's a full send, really, because we'll be like, oh, because a lot of the spots you can only have so many people on, and if people are there in a certain spot, it ruins the other spots. So and they're all pretty small. I don't hunt any really big pieces of water. So if plan A falls through, usually like plan B's kind of out of the window because it's, a 20-30 minute drive to get there. And then by the time, you get there, then it's already going to have people on it. So usually. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, so I had this one time where kind of the same thing. I got there, fairly early, not late by any means, and got all set up, sitting there, and laid back in the blinds, kind of falling asleep, and heard someone walking up. I was like, "Oh, they're just gonna keep walking past." And then I heard that sound of decoys slapping the water straight across from me, and it's only 25 yards from one side to the other. And so I like stand up, I'm waving my lights like, "Hey, I'm over here." And he's like, "Oh shoot, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Just join me. I'm by myself, and you have a dog." So I just some random guy, and we sat there and BS for a long time, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I've hunted with several strangers before. Some of them have turned out better than others, but
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just not a like I don't know. I'm not a very like I don't like to argue, I guess. I mean, I'm not a dick. As long as you're cool. Like if you approach me being an asshole, like I'm gonna be an asshole back. You know what I mean? But
Oh yeah.
like if someone rolls up and they're like, "Oh, you're hunting here," I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, we care if you join." I'm like, "Nah, bro, come on. I mean, you seem nice enough." So, but no, if someone just pulls in and like shining their spotlight and fucking cussing and screaming, then yeah.
Oh yeah.
Completely different story. But that's the thing with waterfowl hunting is like, or I guess just hunting in general is people can be such dicks, but like if guys would just like put their arrogance down for like 10 seconds and just like just be a fucking decent human and talk to people, I think not only could you make some more hunting friends, but like you might have a killer shootout. So I don't know. If anyone's listening and you're an asshole, then maybe this season try and be a little nicer to people.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's always nice. You always think of it's like, oh, these guys are set up, a couple hundred yards from us. We're going to be competing for birds. Why don't we just join forces and have just a huge spread, and then but I don't know. A lot of times people don't like to do that, it seems like.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like hunting with like myself or like one other person. Like I like small group hunting, but I'm not opposed to hunting with 5 or 6 dudes as long as it's like can be safely done. You know what I mean? As long as we're not all like on top of each other and shooting over each other and shit, then I could really care less. But yeah, I think that's one of the worst things about the sport of duck hunting is it's so hard for someone brand new to get into it because most people are such dicks about everything. So if some younger dude's trying to get some help, and I'm not talking about everyone, there's some nicer people out there,
sure.
But you run into people like if you go out there by yourself for your first time and you run into some people and they're yelling and cussing at you and trying to run you off, then you're just like, man, why am I? This ain't for me.
Yeah, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's my message of peace to the community. Y'all need to start being nicer.
For sure.
But we got just a couple questions, man, that we ask everyone. Really no rhyme or reason to it, but you don't have a dog. And you don't have a boat. Those are 2 of the questions. You've already answered those, though.
Well, technically, I have a dog. My parents have got a dog that they have. It's a lab, but I've never really taken the time because of school. I've not taken the time to try to train it for waterfowl.
Gotcha.
And just so it's basically just kind of been sitting around a lot, and with dad working all the time, it's kind of hard to kind of get into a rhythm of training a dog for that long. I mean, he'll retrieve. I've taken him a couple times, but he's not to the point to where I could just say, okay, you're going to sit here when we shoot, you're going to go get it and come back. What if he decides to cross the river and just stay on that side? Or it's just kind of like, he's kind of unpredictable. So I try to keep away from him, but no, yeah, keep asking questions.
What's your dog's name?
Renegade.
Renegade.
We call him Rennie for short.
Oh, that's fun. I'm just imagining like you just sitting your dog and he just like goes and sits on the other side of the fucking river the whole time.
No, yeah, that'd be pissed.
Oh, I've been there, but so what kind of shotgun do you shoot, man?
Winchester Super X4.
Oh, an SX4.
Yeah,
Do you like it?
I had the Super X2. I can't even say it, so I'm not gonna try. And then my dad got the Super X3, and then since the X4 came out, I was like, well, the X2 is a little old, so I went and got it. But yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think you're the first one so far that's shot a Winchester.
Really?
Yeah, the dude I hunt with, Tim, he shoots a SX. I think it's an SX2 or a 1. It's definitely older, but it still shoots good. He loves it. And I got a buddy who has been talking for 2 years about buying an SX4, but he's just too cheap, I guess. I don't know.
They're as comparable as like the Browning Maxes, isn't it?
Oh, it's almost identical. They're both gas guns.
Yeah, but it's just cheaper. That's it. Well,
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
saying that you're a cheap guy, but it's more affordable.
Right. When you're high school working 15 hours a week, it's kind of like,
yeah. I haven't looked at them. I've looked at the SX4s. I just can't justify spending money on shit right now.
Right. Yeah.
Random question, since we're talking about money, and we talked about this earlier. What's a gallon of gas cost you right now?
A gallon of gas kind of varies in the state. Average is probably $3.50.
Damn.
Jeez.
$3.70.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I wouldn't.
I thought I was bad.
Like I'd be duck hunting like this one day a week, and that's it. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to afford to do anything else.
No. So going back to earlier when I say I don't travel much, I did just get back from Iowa.
Okay.
Like 2 days ago.
Did
And
you
yeah,
drive to Iowa?
well, we flew over
Oh,
there. But yeah, the gas over there is like $2.90, and I was blown away.
yeah. We just hit $3 here like a week or two ago. But I mean, this
Jeez.
time last year it was I
It
don't
was
even
like
know $1.50.
I wish.
A year ago here, it was like $3.80.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same, but it's expensive.
Wow, no, it was literally like $1.50 here last year. I mean, like I could fill up my truck and my boat and be ready to rock, and now, like I wouldn't fill up my truck. It was like $75 the other day. I was like, holy shit! There's no way I'm gonna be able to hunt this year. So, and like my deer stand, I mean, it takes me about 30, 45 minutes to get to where I deer hunt, and uh, the closest spot we duck hunt is 30 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna be pretty poor, but
You better hope you get some meat in the freezer then.
boy, yeah, I don't know. It's shaping up to be good. It looked like my hopes are a lot higher this year than they have been the last 2 years. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, my question for you is, what is your go-to blind snack every morning? So when you're getting your stuff together and you're getting ready to head out, what is your one snack you gotta have?
This might sound kind of bad.
That's
What my
fine.
buddy and I have kind of gotten into the habit of doing as a blind snack is drinking a Bud Light Lime at
That's
3
not
in the
bad at
morning
all.
or 4 in the morning.
I mean, that'll wake you up, right?
Oh yeah, it does.
Just
Especially
one
after
though.
maybe a couple more than that.
Because I know if I woke up and just drank one beer at 4 a.m., like I think by the time shoot light came around, I'd probably have already fallen asleep.
Oh yeah. You usually have a couple to stay
Yeah.
awake, but
Well, we'll keep it legal. We don't want to get you in any trouble with work again or with anybody. So,
Right.
but no, okay. Well, I might have to try that this year.
if I had to say anything like food, it'd probably be like jerky or something like that. I'll usually grab that from the gas station or like a breakfast burrito or something.
I can dig it. I can dig
Easy
it.
enough. All right, I'll have to ask you a question. What is your go-to like duck recipe, or what is your duck recipe if you have one?
My favorite is to take the breast after it's been cleaned, just an individual one, and slice it in like 1/4-inch slices, long ways.
Okay.
And then you take that, and then you buy like pineapple tibbits or whatever. They're kind of the size of like a 50-cent piece, the bigger ones. And wrap the duck meat around the pineapple, and then take bacon and wrap that around the duck meat, and then barbecue it or cook it kind of like shish kebab next to a fire or something like that. That's probably my favorite.
Oh, that's different. No seasoning or?
Yeah, just kind of basic seasonings like
Okay.
lemon, salt, and yeah, just kind of general. Nothing fancy. I mean, the bacon and pineapple kind of give it a lot of flavor. So
Yeah, that's definitely different.
I can dig it.
it's pretty good.
What's your favorite duck to eat?
Probably mallard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I figured that was your answer.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's
well-
all he's majority shooting, right?
Exactly. And by the time you clean the other birds, you kind of just mix it all together anyway. So it's just
Yeah, it's a mallard.
it tastes like mallard. It's delicious.
Oh, well, man, I appreciate you, Nick, for giving us 45 minutes of your time tonight. Yeah, I'm sure you're busy with schoolwork and whatnot, but it's greatly appreciated. I think you represented Idaho really well too, man. Maybe one day we'll make our way out to Idaho. I got some family that lives in Montana, so maybe one day I'll slide over to Idaho and shoot some ducks.
Perfect.
But who knows? If you're ever down in Louisiana, give me a holler, and we'll try and put you on some birds. We'll put you in some timber.
Timber
No.
style. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
timber style.
Yeah. That way you can check it off your list.
That'd be sweet. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And guys, everyone who's listening, I just want to say again, thank you for the support so far. Just hit that follow button on the podcast. Download it, share it with your friends, show us some support that way. We're slowly rolling through this list of states we got, and we still got plenty more episodes to go. So stick around. I promise you're not going to regret it. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks for listening to Flying V Podcast.